Well, I'm Colonel Omvir. Even if you start with a moderate or a small amount, just start it. My portfolio is a healthy mix of various aspects of mutual funds.
That 1 lakh rupees invested in BSE Sensex back 35 years from now, so 1990, around that time. If you miss out, the value today is around 95 lakhs, 95 times the value invested back then of over 35 years. But if you were to miss out just 10 of the best days of the market, the value drops down to around 35-40 lakhs.
You see, things took a little serious turn when I got my.
What made you choose or switch to DAD and InvestCon, and how it has been? Hi sir, good morning. Thank you for meeting me here today. Today we'll be talking about your journey of investing across the years and how it has been associating with us, and what kind of experiences you had working with DAD and InvestCon. First, I would like to start with your introduction, your background in the army, and who all are there in your family.
Thank you, Mihir. Well, I'm Colonel Omvir. I am a veteran of the army. I served in the army for about 36, 37 years, and presently I am, living in Sector 20, Panchkula. I have two sons. Both of them are well settled. One is married, and the other one is a music expert, and he stays with me. He's got his own studio here.
Okay, so you retired in 2018, right?
17, I retired.
17.
Thereafter, I served in the army again for 4 years as part of my re-employment.
Okay, got it. So 2021 is when you actually retired. Okay, got it. So after the retirement and before the retirement, what kind of investing experiences you had? As in, I remember that you started associating with us, or you met Dad in 2018, I believe. So before that and after that, how has your journey been of making those investments and building a corpus for your post retirement and those needs?
You see, when I joined the army in 1984, our basic pay was just 750 rupees. Add a few allowances and things like that, the total pay used to come to around 1500 rupees. Now 1500 rupees, out of which, our mess bills and things like that, they used to be around 700, 800 rupees. That hardly left anything for investment. And in 1984, 85, there was hardly any investment avenues other than, our the DSOP fund, that is the Provident Fund, and maybe bank RDs, FDs and things like that. So I would say till good about 2004-5, we were almost hand to mouth. There were no savings. Only savings was whatever we put in our DSOP fund.
Yeah, got it.
It is only after the sixth pay commission that life started getting a little better financially.
Yeah.
And then again, we started saving, lump sum kind of this thing in our Provident Fund only.
Yeah.
It is, in 2005, when I was posted in Jaipur, that I met a gentleman. And he agreed to guide me into investment into mutual funds and, primary markets and things like that. So that is where we started investing in equity market.
Got it. Okay. So from 2005 to 2018, that is when you did some bits of investing here and there based on whatever you could save at that point of time. And then after 2018, you got that gratuity amount, I remember. And then you took your leap, and then you met Dad at that point and you started the journey there. So what made you choose or switch to DAD and InvestCon in 2018 as compared to prior when you were doing it through someone else, I believe, or on your own?
I'll just give you a prelude to it. In 2005, the gentleman through whom I invested, he put more than 60% of my money in ULIPs.
Okay.
Is later on I realized that, you know, you can't mix up insurance and investment.
Yep.
These are two different aspects.
Absolutely agreed, sir.
And it is only after 3-4 of my premiums I realized I wasn't getting anywhere. And to add to my woes, the 2008 that bloody market crash
Yeah.
came,
Yeah.
and I lost all hope.
Hmm.
And you know, I started thinking again, कि, look, it is better to earn moderate returns of 10 to 12% in my DSOP fund
Yeah.
rather than going for 18 to 20% in equity markets and things like that.
Right.
However,
Hmm.
even after 2008, on my own,
Hmm.
I kept on investing through SIPs in mutual funds,
Yeah.
and I got moderate returns.
Hmm.
You see, things took a little serious turn when I got my lump sum
Gratuity amount.
gratuity, DSOP fund
Yeah.
balance amount,
Yeah.
my you know, leave encashment, and
Yeah.
various other
Yeah.
you know, this thing benefits. Now you see 1.5 CR or around that
Yeah.
is quite a
Handsome
sum.
amount. Yeah.
So I didn't want to you know, do this trial and error
Makes sense.
anymore.
Yeah.
And through one of my friends,
Hmm.
I got to know about Mr. Gagan Chaudhary,
Hmm.
and that he is a good mutual fund distributor and a financial advisor.
Hmm.
And I took an appointment from him, and in a very, very intelligent and diligent manner, he explained the whole game to me.
Okay.
And since then, I have had various, you know, what do you call, investment expenditures and things like that. That included sending my younger son to Canada. That included paying off my EMIs for the housing loan. That included getting my elder son married.
Yeah.
That included buying myself a Volkswagen Tiguan,
Handsome car, sir.
and still
Hmm.
I have handsome amount
Yeah.
in my portfolio, and I have since then not looked left and right, and have been investing as per the guidance and as per the investment strategy as explained to me by Mr. Gagan Chaudhary.
Got it. Thank you, sir. I think that the part where you mentioned about insurance and investments as being treated separately and each having their own independent purposes, that is, I think, a fair point. And that is something that everyone should keep in mind, I believe. Your health and life insurance should not be clubbed in with your investments. Your investments have a different purpose, and your life and health insurance have a different purpose, which is to give you peace of mind and safety. With your experience working with dad, if you were to point out or lay it out for us, one or two best things about your experience.
The first thing is, you see, mitigation of risk.
Okay.
He is very, very, I would say, succinctly, you know, explained to me the various facets of risk management. I, being a retired person, can I afford to take a risk? Do I have the capacity?
Correct.
Do I have the tolerance for it?
Makes sense.
And after that is the asset allocation.
Okay.
Okay. My portfolio is a healthy mix of various aspects of mutual funds. It is exclusively mutual funds and nothing else. Healthy mixture of debt, liquid, and equity, including your mid cap, small cap, large cap, balanced,
Got it.
and you name it.
Yeah.
I have a healthy portfolio, and we have been churning our funds based on their performance,
Yeah.
but not based on, you know,
Whims and fancies.
knee-jerk reaction. Look, so and so fund is not doing well.
Yeah, yeah,
We give adequate time to the fund managers
yeah.
to reset their portfolio and things
Yeah.
like that. And till now, touch wood, things have been working quite nicely for us.
Got it, got it. So first was risk mitigation and risk tolerance understanding for yourself on what kind of risks are good for you and what kind of risks you can actually take. That is a fair point. And second, asset allocation. That is our philosophy. Asset allocation is the
Yeah,
key.
one more thing I will say.
Okay.
Disciplined investing.
Okay.
Irrespective of the market conditions,
Mm-hmm.
if you are disciplined and if you continue investment, I think the market will not disappoint you.
Got it. Yeah, I think that is it is a time tested theory as well. Over the years, it has been proven time and again that if you miss out on a few select best days of the market, just because you are out of the market at that point, you miss out on a lot of real returns. The other day, I was just seeing a video. They did some research and it said that 1 lakh rupees invested in BSE Sensex back in 35 years from now, so 1990, around that time, prior or when the liberalization was happening. If you miss out, the value today is around 95 lakhs, 95 times the value invested back then of over 35 years. But if you were to miss out just 10 of the best days of the market, the value drops down to around 35-40 lakhs. So just 10 days when you're not invested in the market, you miss out on 60 lakhs of value. And stretch it to 30-40 days, it's just 5 and 6 lakhs. That's all. So you miss out on 90 lakhs of value. So the point which you raised, staying invested and disciplined investing, those are key to making your gains.
One more thing I would like to say,
Okay.
that anyone, irrespective of the financial position that you are in today, whether young, old, salaried, or businessman, I think even if you start with a moderate or a small amount, just start it. Okay, you will not regret it because you don't know. As and when the requirement is there, this small amount or moderate amount is going to come in handy during your rainy days.
I think so. That is one key piece of advice which you have given to anyone who thinks of starting investing but is not doing that. Start small, start early, and you will make the required gains.
You see, most of us wait
Yeah.
for a big amount to come or an increase in the salary and things like that to start investing. Just start off, man. One small step, a giant leap in your portfolio.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your time today and your association with us and Dad. It was a pleasure working with
Thank
you.
you, thank
we'll
you, and
continue.
kindly convey my thanks
I will
to
do so, sir. Thank
your
you, sir.
dad.
Yeah.